Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Bala.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good
Yeah,
evening.
good evening.
Okay. So we'll start the class. Okay. The last class we have seen about the various factors, environmental factors. So it's mandatory for you to consider that factors. So before going into that, how many process we have to support the project management?
49.
49 process.
49.
How many knowledge area we have?
10.
10.
10 knowledge areas. Okay. How many process groups are there, which will be taking its own process?
5.
49.
No. Processes are
5.
right? Process group,
5.
5 process group, right? From initiating to closing. So right now, for you to perform each and every process, you need to consider various factors. So the factors will be enterprise environmental factors. So you need to just make sure that these factors will influence you and your project. So you can't skip the factors. The factors will not control the factors. You can't control the factors. The factors will control you. So whether you're going to like the factors or not, you have to use the factors in each and every process. The factors will give you 100% success, and it will be giving you it will be giving you 50% success, and it will be giving you 50% failure. So you will get failures, and you will be getting the success. So you need to consider these factors. So one of the important factor was we have seen that the culture of the organizations. So you have to overcome the culture of the organization by having the cultural sensitivity. Then what you should have in order to avoid the misunderstanding and misconception communications. In order to avoid the misinterpretation, misunderstanding, miscommunication, you should have what? What soft skills you should have? What interpersonal skills you should have in order to overcome the culture difference of opinions? Maybe
Conflict management.
what, man?
Conflict management.
No. Actually, you need to have something called cultural awareness. Take this one information. Cultural awareness is very important soft skills. You need to have the cultural awareness exam. Each and every examination, they were asking the questions on cultural awareness. So how are you going to avoid the misunderstanding, miscommunications, and misinterpretations? What soft skills are you going to use to avoid this? So the option will be leadership skills. The second one will be influential skills. The third one will be negotiation skills. And the last one will be cultural awareness. So the cultural awareness is the exact answer. Don't try to make a mistake. Cultural awareness will overcome the miscommunication, misinterpretations, and miscommunication, misunderstanding. Right? Then we gone into the various factors. One of the important factors is the structure of the organization where you work. We went through various kind of organization structure, starting from your organic type. Then we have moved to the functional type. How many functional type of organization structure we have? How many structure you can see in the functional?
3.
Four. One is your weak matrix. The second one is your balance matrix. The third one is a strong matrix.
Hybrid.
And combination of all this is called as a composite. We call this one as a composite matrix. So composite matrix organization structure, you can have the weak matrix structure. You have a balanced matrix structure. You have your strong matrix, and you'll be having the composite. You'll be having all the combining structure. You can call this one as a composite. Now, even you can see the functional structure in the composite matrix. What do you mean by type matrix? What is the other name given for type matrix? What is the other name given for the type matrix? Your company.
Locations.
What?
Co-locations. Right?
Co-locations. You are able to co-locate very important people until the project is completed. So you can see in your organization that you'll be having a reserved facility for you to conduct in a high-level meeting, a steering meetings or a strategic meeting, or you're going to call your contributors, your lenders, your regulators, You'll be having a meeting with the technical professional associations. So this meeting will be having, you have a facility called a war room. So what is the expansion for the war room? War room is a great example for tight matrix. What is the expansion you can give for war room?
Work action resolution.
Work action resolution room, right? You can see your project photographs. You can see the flip charts hanging there. You can see the whiteboard. You can see the marker. You can see the table, chairs. So that room or facility will be reserved only for you to discuss a high-level meeting. So that room is called as a war room, where you can just co-locate your team to have the status or progress review meetings or very important meetings, right? Then opposite to the tight matrix. So opposite to the tight matrix, what type of organization structure you have? You're not allowed to travel because the organization is a cost-tight organization. They're not allowing you to fly. Air ticket price is shooting up. Lodging, boarding, the cab services, the food expenses, other miscellaneous expenses. Even some project manager were attaching the bar bills, club bills. So the company is not able to withstand this kind of expense. So they have scratched the project and avoiding the people to go to other territory. So what type of organization structure are you going to use? What kind of organization structure are you going to use?
Tight matrix only, right?
Tight matrix, opposite to the tight matrix, Nitin. You are not allowed to fly to the other territory. You are not allowed to fly to other geographical locations. You need to operate your project staying in the same place. But the team will be working for you. You will be having your business. So what kind of team you are managing? This is exactly opposite to the tight matrix, co-locations. So please note on a virtual team. Virtual team, the people will be working in the remote area. The people will be working in the they'll be working in the home. So they'll be doing the work through home. So this kind of team will be called as a virtual team. So what is the main factor you're going to consider if you have the virtual team? What is the main factor once you're going to handle as a project manager for a virtual team? Because it is very easy for you to know whether the people are motivated or not, or you can gather the people for the status or any team building meeting or progressive meeting. If the teams are co-located, the team is going to stay in the same place. The team is going to work in the same building. The team is going to work in the same porta cabins, right? The same project site. So you can easily arrange the people, but you can't arrange the meeting, the people who's going to be working as a virtual team members. And it is very difficult for you to notify whether the people are motivated or not, right? In a week, only 3 days is overlap between you and them. You will start your work from Sunday and you will be completing your work on Thursday evening. And the virtual team members, they're going to start the work on Monday morning. They're going to complete the work on Friday afternoon. So only 3 days between you and them is overlapped. But you can see that business is going there. You are able to tap in your feet into the other geographical locations. So what is the prime factor you're going to consider once you're going to handle the virtual team? Any idea?
Communication. Communication.
Yes, what you said is 100% correct. Please note down, communication is a main important. Communication is a main important thing. You need to have the communication tools. You need to have your communication techniques to reach the virtual team. So you know very well that the modern world is having a lot of latest technology for you to just have the communication with the virtual team. So you need to select your communication virtual tools, online collaboration tools, desktop sharings, voice over internet protocols. You'll be having your social medias. You can just have your team meetings through Microsoft Teams. You can conduct your team meetings through your Google applications, Google Meet, right? So you have various kind of social medias, share folders, cloud computing services available for you to facilitate your communication. Communication is a key successful factor for you to maintain your virtual team, right? Then can we allow the less mobility people to work, physically challenged people can work in the virtual team? Physically challenged.
Yes.
They have the skills to expose their, they can discharge the duties. We can allow the people to work, right?
Yes.
Can we just restart our Scratch project, which we feel that it's very expensive in sending the people directly to the environment? Can we restart the project, which is we consider as a Scratch project? We can redo that project also, right? Because you have all the communication tool for you to manage your virtual teams, right? Someone is going to do the work for you. And you don't require to pay for any real estate property developers. So you don't require to have an office. people will be working for you and you do your business over there. You're able to tap your feet into geographical locations. Time zones are different. So you should be very cautious in selecting your communication methods, communication models, and you need to select your communication tools, right? So coming into the communication, for you to facilitate your virtual team, you need to select your communication methods. This is very important because you know very well our exam question is going to focus about 74 questions on the soft skills. 74 questions you are able to get out of 180 only on the soft skills. The soft skills will be coming into a different flavors. It can come as a leadership skills. It can come as an interpersonal skills. It can come as a persuasion skills. It can come as a negotiation skills, right? So you need to make sure that the communication is a very important topic. Out of 10 domain areas, as Ms. Kala said that we are supported with the 10 domain areas, we should have a strong knowledge on the 10 domain areas, from integration to the stakeholder engagement knowledge area. Out of this 10, 3 is supported with the soft skills. 3 is making you to just know about your leadership skills and interpersonal skills. How I'm going to interrelate myself in the society using the social media in communicating with other people. So I need to have the people skills. Being a manager, I need to have the people skills in managing my people. My interpersonal skills makes me to go very closer to my team members. So the communication, your stakeholder, and your resource management, these 3 domain areas will be speaking about all this 74 questions. You are able to get your reservoirs to answer the 74 questions without any mistakes, without any pitfalls. Right? If you are able to perform as a low performance, you are able to show the low performance on the process domain area, which will be having 50% of your exam questions. You can patch up your performance on and giving the answer. All the 74 answers you can give correctly once you are able to understand your soft skills. Because what is the difficulty in understanding the soft skills? You as a project manager, you as a leader, or you as a supervisor, you are not allowing yourself to come away from the comfort zones. So you should have the communication skills. You should have the leadership skills. So once it is coming to the communication, you need to make sure that I need to just bring a good communication strategy, that I need to define this particular strategy in my communication management plan. So this communication strategy will make me to just determine what will be the methods I need to select for me to communicate with my audience. So your audience will be an internal audience. Your audience will be an external audience. You need to do a formal communication. You can do your informal communication. You have to do your formal written communication. You need to do informal written communication. So you need to do the official communication and you have to do your unofficial communications. So very clearly, you need to just determine your communication strategies in your communication management plan. And that particular communication strategy will make you to just select your appropriate person who will be selecting the message, an appropriate message in appropriate format, in appropriate, selecting an appropriate tool, selecting the appropriate method, selecting your appropriate distribution list for you to get your appropriate responses. So the right message has to go to the right audience in the right format, in the right tool, in the right method, and it has to bring the right impact from the audience. So you need to develop your communication strategies and you need to plan your communication management plans. So you need to select your communication methods. If you're going to be a project manager, I'm going to manage my virtual team sitting in my house, sitting in my office. You have to know about what kind of methods I need to use for me to communicate with my audience. Right? Because the 90% of the time, as a typical project manager, you're going to spend only on communicating with your people. The communication can be an upward communication, it can be a downward communication, it can be a sideward communication. You can just communicate with your peers, you can communicate with your subordinates, you can communicate with your senior management. So I need to be very cautious in selecting my communication methods. According to the Project Management Institute, there are 3 methods available for me to communicate. Please note down, the first method is called as the push method. And again, I'm saying that we are discussing very relevant that will be helping us to pass this examination, and this will be helping us to use our project management for a long term. So for you to just use your project management for a short term and a long term, so everything will be related to our subject. So you can just come across once you're sitting as your exam candidate, what kind of questions they were asking you. So definitely they'll be asking you about these 3 methods, push methods. What do you mean by push method? Anyone? What do you mean by push method? What do you mean by push method? Anyone? Mr. Arvind? Mr. Arman? So to recap the things, we started with the introductions. We went through complete a thorough. We have a thorough knowledge on the exam blueprint. We know that we will be getting 180 questions. And the questions are broken into 3 sections, 60, 60, 60 per sections. The time duration is given for us will be 3 hours and 50 minutes. And the exam questions are taken from the 3 domain areas, people domain, which will be contributing you 42% of questions, process domain, which will be contributing you 50% of questions, and remaining 8% will be taken from the business environment. So these are the 3 domain areas. And our performance, overall performance in answering all these 3 domain areas should be target performance, or it should be an above target performance. We should not come as a below target performance. We should not score a need improvement. So need improvement and below target makes us to fail the examination. Above target and target performance will make us to pass the examinations. So even you're going to score the 180 out of 180 correctly, they will not provide you any kind of distinctions. Only 2 grades are available. It's a binary logic. Either a candidate get passed or the candidate will get a fail. If the overall performance is coming below target or less than that, need improvement, you fail your exams. If you want to pass your examination, you need to score target or above target. That's the reason I'm saying that if you have a problem in understanding the process, because we as a Middle East, except 1 or 2 people gathered here, Ms. Kala, another person who's going to know, who have contributed the entire professional career in IT areas, so they can answer the questions on the process once it is coming to the IT related questions or adaptive project environment related questions. But once we are working so far and we are using the traditional methodologies, and this is a new things we are learning from the adaptive environments. So if our overall performance, we are not able to score in the process domain area, if we are not able to answer correctly the process based questions, we can patch up our performance in the people domain area, which will be a 74 number questions. So question number will be as nearly 74 question will be asked in the people domain areas. So at least we need to have the overall performance as a target performance. There is no quantitative score given by the PMI right from the certification is introduced in the market, and many people has taken the certification not on the quantitative based. They are able to do the assessment on the subjective base. So only 4 metrics will be used for you to measure the performance. It can be a need improvement, and above that it will be below target, and above that you can see target and above target. These are the 4 metrics will be used for the PMI to measure the candidate performance. Right. So, and we gone into the topic, the introduction topic, like what do you mean by project and what do you mean by project management, how we are able to accomplish the project management, what is the role of the project manager, and where all the areas you're going to practice your project management. So you can practice your project management in the standalone project. You will be practicing the project management within the program management. You can practice your project management within the portfolio management. Portfolio managers are the chief there. Program managers are chief in the program management organizations. And how you are able to align all your project management within the 3 layers. So you have a strategic execution framework called OPM, Organizational Project Management Maturity, right? Then we went through the phase, how are you going to run your project, whether you are running the project in the phase wise, or you're going to run your project through iterations. If you're going to run your project, breaking the project into multiple iteration, so it states that you're running in adaptive projects. If you're going to break a project and you're going to run your project through phase wise, that project will be a predictive projects. And mixing these 2 methodology, adaptive and predictive, you get an hybrid. So some portion of the project you're going to run as a phase, and some portion of the project will be running as an iterations. You can select your own life cycles. Life cycle will decide the project time scale, right? So it passes through from the first phase to the last phase, or it will be passing through the first iteration to the last iteration. So that will be designing a project life cycle. So you and me are having the life cycle. So the project should have its own life cycle. So based on the project nature, you need to select your project life cycle. If the project is a very predictive and you're able to predict your things, you are going with a plan-driven methodology. If you're not able to predict what is your output and the changes are keep on evolving, you need to go either with an incremental, or you'll be going with an iterative, or you can go with a combo of iterative and incremental that becomes a change-driven or agile. So agile is having various methodologies. That methodology was scattered 20 years back. They want to unite all the methodologies, so they brought into a single umbrella. You are able to hear me? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So you are able to unify the complete methodology and making the people to follow the common manifesto. We call that one as an agile manifesto. We'll be having a separate section on that, So Agile Manifesto will be supported with 4 values and it will be supported with the supporting pillars at 12 principles. So manifesto is about 4 values and 12 principles. 4 values are the main pillars. 4 values are the main pillars. 12 principles are supporting pillars. So we have a manifesto. So the complete manifesto will make us to understand about your adaptive methods. So you can use any methodology which is coming under the Agile, but 80% you need to take the values and principle and you need to apply to your project from the Agile Manifesto. Remaining 20 to 15% you can modify based on your disciplines. So that is about your adaptives, right? Then we gone into the second topic, that how you are able to operate your project and what are the various influencing factors under which your project is operated. So we gone into a factor called enterprise environmental factors. We gone into various factors, internal factors like organization culture. We gone into the organization structure, and we are able to know about the risk attitude of your stakeholder and understanding the risk appetite, right? So we went through the attitude like a risk tolerant, a risk seeker, a risk gambler, a risk lover. So these are the factors will be deciding the control thresholds. You are able to know about what is the amount the people can withstand the risk, how much amount they can, what is the percentage of variation they can allow, what is the percentage of the variation they will not allow, what is the withstand capacity of the entire organization in allowing the risk into your project. So that makes you to establish a thresholds, right? We stopped that one. And right now we came here to just know about your virtual team. So virtual team is what? Virtual team is asking you to just adapt your communication methods, right? So we have, so far so clear, right? So far so clear.
Yes.
Yeah, Bala.
Okay. So the first one is your push method. The second one is your pull method. And the third one is called as the interactive method. Interactive method. Please note on this interactive method. In the interactive method can be called as a bidirectional methods. The push method, you need to just define your push method. What will be your push method of communications? You are pushing your information to the larger audience. You just open your email box. You just frame your message. You're going to take 500 people, 500 email address, and you're going to put into the to list, or you'll be placing them under the carbon copy list, or you'll be placing them under the blind carbon copy list. You're going to push your message to your audience. The drawback of this method is that you will not able to know who has read your message or who's not read your message. You doesn't able to have an idea who read through your message and who never read through your message. And other drawback in using this communication, pushing your message to the audience, you are not able to push a large volume of informations. In a Google, there is a capacity, there will be a limit for you to just attach that one as a file, and you can push your informations. You can attach more than 2 GB, right? What is the capacity?
Yes.
You can't just attach more than 2 GB, right? In the Google, in the Gmail, right?
Yes.
Right? So large volume of information you are not able to attach. You are not able to push. You have a certain limit of message, so that my communication can be pushed from your end and to the recipient end. So that will be the push methods. The pull method is something large volume of information you will be sending to your people, but you will not send. You are able to keep the large volume of information into a central repository. There is a repository, and you're able to keep that your message into that repository. If an interesting audience, if they are having the interest, they will be coming to this repository. They will try to pull the communications. So what method I'm able to send? What is the method I'm able to send my communication to you guys? How we are able to download the videos? I'm sending as a attachment in the Google. Attachment using the Google, Gmail email address. In which format I'm sending my information? Which format? How you are able to...
Centralized location. You are keeping it in a centralized location. We are downloading it from there.
Yeah, you're downloading, taking it. It's a very large volume of information. 2 hours of classes, 2.5 hours of classes I'm running. I'm not able to send as a video format. I'm not able to send as an MP4 players. I'm able to just keep it into a central repository where you're going to just come and pull that information. So what the examination question, they will keep on asking this. The people are very, very busy in the project. They are not able to just know about the information. There is spurious amount of information is communicated to the people, but the people is not having the time to look onto this communications. So the team is advising the team leader to keep that one into central repository. So where if they have the time is permitting them, they can come and they can pull the information. They can read through this information. They can go through this information. Now, what kind of method the people is asking the team leader to follow? Push method, pull method, interactive method. One more answer will be made up term, because you know very well, the multiple choice question will be having 4 answers. So 3 answers they will be taking from subject and 1 will be taken as a made up term. So what is the correct answer for you to choose? What kind of communication the team is advising the team leader to use? They are advising the team leader to keep that message into a central repository. So once the time is permitting them, they'll be coming and they'll be able to read through the message. They can go through the message. So what kind of method the team is asking the team leader to follow?
Pull method.
Pull methods, right? So large volume of information you can place into the central repository, but you doesn't know which audience has taken your informations. I doesn't know that who has downloaded and who has not downloaded my videos. Suddenly one person will be asking, I'll be just giving the hint to note that try to download this particular video within 3 to 5 days. Because I'm not maintaining any kind of backend copies, and I'm running many classes, many online classes and offline classes I'm running. So I don't have the space in my my hard disk, and my external hard disk also is not reading. I need to repair that one. So I'm not able to take into the external this one, my hard disk also. So suddenly one person will be asking, can you send me that particular class? Like the second class I missed, I'm not able to download that one, that expiry, that link went for an expiry. Right? So I doesn't know which audience is going to download my format and which audience is not downloading my format. So that will be a pull method. The best method for you to just use in your project, that will be interactive methods. The interactive method will be a bidirectional communications. If you are not here connected in this network, I'm not able to give my classes. Can I give the classes for myself? If not even one person is connected with me?
No.
No. So there should be an audience. There should be I am a sender and you are the receiver. And sometimes you become a sender, I become a receiver. So we are having the same, medium to communicate our communications. We'll be using the same medium for us to communicate, right? So I'm going to be a sender, you will be a receiver. So you should be there. Either it can be one-to-one format, or it can be one-to-group format, or it can be group-to-group format. It can be a video-to-video format. It can be audio-to-audio format, or it can be a physically face-to-face. So interactive method will be a very good method. You need to have a recipients. But one of the drawback is that you are not able to send a large volume of information once you are interacting with your audience. Either it's a face-to-face or audio-to-audio or video-to-video. I can send a file. I can send a document as an attachment, but I can't send a very big file through our interactions. Is it clear or not, guys? Is it clear?
Yeah, well,
And this all the methods should be defined in your communication method. Whether the push method will be used, the pull method will be used, or interactive method will be used, or combination of all the method will be used. So that will be determining your communication strategies. Always be very cautious. Once you are defining the communication management plan, you need to keep your communication management plan in a loop. Because if you are not able to communicate to the right audience and your format is not a right format, make sure that you have to change your communication strategies. Always the communication management plan should be kept in the loop, right? So how important for you to select your communication method, you need to select your communication models. So the communication model should have a sender. They'll be using a medium, and the sender will format his message and he'll be sending to a receiver. So he's going to formulate the message and he'll be using a medium to send his message to the receiver, right? And once the receiver is going to receive the message from the sender, he or she will be giving what? Acknowledgement. Acknowledgement. So what kind of acknowledgement they're going to give? Yeah, I received your message. So taking the acknowledgement from the receiver, the sender should not imagine that the receiver has understood the message. She has given only the acknowledgement. Yes, I received the message. That means she never understands. That means you don't try to go to a calculation that she has completely understand your message or she has understand your communications. She has given only the acknowledgement, he or she. But once the receiver is sending the message back to the sender, now the receiver becomes the sender, and she will be asking the sender, I'm not able to understand your message. Can you just elaborate what message you sent? So what she is trying to do, she is able to give the feedback. Right? So what you need to do, once you are selecting your communication models, you need to make sure that the sender and the receiver, they should use a medium, and this medium should not be interrupted. So they are calling the term, the interruption is called as a term called noise. The communication is interrupted between the sender and receiver. The receiver is not able to understand the message, or sender is not able to formulate his message well, and he has sent to the receiver, which the receiver is not able to understand the format of the message. So something is coming as a disruptions, interruptions. So we're going to call this interruption as a noise. The noise can be an original noise. It can be an original noise. If you are working in a company and you can see that behind your cabin, you are not able to get your AC. The AC people are, the maintenance people are doing the AC work, and you are opening the windows. So where you can get the air circulations, and behind you, you can see the people are working for a road. They are repairing the road. Heavy equipments are stationed in the road. They are cutting the road with very big equipments. People are using the jackhammers, and they are using heavy equipments. So you are getting a call in your phone. You are able to speak to your audience properly?
No.
So your communication is interrupted. The actual noise is interrupting your communication between you and your audience, right? So noise is one of the important interruptions. And above all, the interruption can come based on the distance. You're getting the call from US. One of your client is speaking from the US, right? So what you're going to do, you are not able to receive his communication properly. Can you just hold for a while? Let me come outside the room. I'm not able to get the proper range. Let me put in myself in the proper network. I can receive your calls. I can receive your message. I can hear you properly. I'm not able to hear you properly right now. Just wait for 5 minutes. I'll come outside. So the actual the noise becomes as a distance. So distance also will be a greater interruptions. So you need to make sure that your communication model should avoid the noise. The original noise should be avoided. The distance, how you are able to handle the distance, that should be framed, right? And apart from this, the context. So what kind of context you're going to use? You're going to use a low context, or you will be using the high context, right? Some people, some culture, they will be very rude. Do this. So they have used the low context. And some people will be adding more context. You are so kind enough. Can you do the things for me? So you are coming in the roundabout way. So context also should be considered once you're going to determine your communication model, right? The other one is language. So language also will be one of the barriers. During the Eid holidays, suddenly your CEO is calling you and asking you to go to the site office. But you want to know whether you're going to get an entry into the site office, because you know very well all the workers will come to the doga, inside the doga from the camp. So you want to just know whether you can get the entry in the muster point. So you're calling the people, and one person is speaking Arabic. An Egyptian person or any person from Arabic background is going to be a security guard there. And he speaks only Arabic, but you can speak in English, you can speak in Hindi, and you can speak in your mother tongue. So whether you are able to communicate with the Arabic person properly, you doesn't know to speak Arabic. So what is the barrier here? What is the interruption between you and your audience? The language, right? The language. The last one is a personality. Last one is your personality. Always your boss is going to shout at you like a dog. It's not shouting, it's barking at you. So right now the morning started, you are getting a call from your boss. That is a telephone call, and is calling through the telephone landline. and you're sitting in a cabin and he starts shouting. You try to compromise him, you try to console him, but he's not listening to you. So what are you going to do? Just keep on shouting, just keep on barking on you. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do, guys?
It will be hard to listen.
Huh?
Hard to listen.
You will be keeping you will be taking
Passive.
the receiver and you'll be keeping the receiver on
Will
the
ignore.
wall. You'll be taking the receiver and you'll be keeping the receiver on the wall. Whatever you want to speak, you can speak to the wall. You're going to listen from one ear, you're going to leave to the other ear, right or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are discussed. Why this person is not, he's not civilized? Why this particular person should shout? I'm giving the explanations. I'm making him to understand, but he's not able to understand. So the personality traits also will be one of the noise, one of the interruption between the sender and receiver. So be very cautious in selecting your communication model. And that too, once you are coming and being a project manager in managing a virtual team, your communication tool, your communication method, and your communication model should be considered. Is it clear, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, clear.
Yes.
Okay. Now, and after that, we went through the PMO, Project Management Office. That is one of the structure. So we have three kind of a project management office. It's a separate or special entity within the same organization. So they're going to provide you the complete thorough knowledge, how to handle the project. They'll be giving you the best consultancies, and they'll be giving you the proper resource allocations, and they will make you to select a proper framework, and they'll be helping you to just choose your own methodology to manage your projects. And they will be giving, they will be suggesting some training. The training can be a management training, or it can be an administrative training, or it can be the technical training, or it can be a OJT, on the job training. They can bring the trainer to your premises, they can conduct the classes. So these are the way. And we have three kind of PMOs. So we have a supportive PMO, we have a controlling PMO, and we'll be having a directive PMO, right? Right. Then what is the other thing? Multi-divisional organization. We gone through the multi-divisional organization. So multi-divisional organization, the suitable example is Walt Disney. So you can see there many divisions will be there, but these people will be working for, they will be having a different output, but these people will be working for a common goal and common objectives. Walt Disney, they are into the film industries. They can do a Cartoon Network for children's. They can do the film using leading actors. They can do the web series. They have an aqua park, they have a theme park. So everything they can do, they are into the operations, they are into the project, they are having a multiple divisions. So that is a multi-divisional organizations, right? Now, one more question I'll be asking you as a project manager. They will keep on asking this question. If you're going to work as a project manager in the matrix structure, in a matrix, whether it's a weak matrix, balanced matrix, or it can be a strong matrix, or it can be a composite matrix, right? So what kind of interpersonal skills you need to expose? Because you know very well, you will not get your resources in a permanent basis. You'll be getting the resources from the functional managers or line managers or your supervisors. So they'll be helping you. They'll be giving the resources. They'll be releasing the resources. They'll be releasing from the functional duties, and they make the resources to work with you until the project is completed. So these people will not show the loyalty to you, because the bread and butter, the growth will be coming from the functional duties. So you have to redeploy them after you're going to complete them in the project work. So in order to attract them, what kind of skills you're going to expose as a project manager? They need to listen to you. They need to bound to you. They need to be more obedient to you. They have to show loyalty to you and your project. They have to make your project success. So what kind of interpersonal skills you should have? First one is persuasion skills. Option number 2 is influential skills. Option 3 is leadership skills. Option 4 will be interpersonal skills. They keep on asking the questions because they doesn't have any other question to ask once it is coming as a people domain question. So what kind of, my voice is audible to you, right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So please note down the interpersonal skills which you're going to expose once you're going to operate in a matrix structure and being a project manager for a temporary basis. So the skills is influential skills. You try to influence your people using your influential skills. You need to attract the people based on the influential skills. So influential skills is the correct answer for you to take from your available slot. Influential skills, right? Okay, we have seen the enterprise environmental factors, internal factors. So whether you're going to like that factors or you're not able to like that factors, you have to use that factors. The factors will control you. That will put you in control. You're not able to control the factors. Now coming to the external factors, what all the external factors you need to consider? The first external factors, depending upon the current condition, is market conditions. The market condition is good or bad right now in Qatar?
Not good.
You are able to place your product, you're able to place your service, you're able to place your result together. We're going to call that one as a deliverable. And there is a chance for the customer will accept your deliverable in the first chance. So how well your product is placed in the market right now? It's a time to market, or the market is a growing market, or it's a shrinking market. The market can be a bull market, or it can be a bear market. In the exchange, you can see a bull and a bear. If you have the bull, market will be up, it's growing up. The bear means the market is growing down, it's shrinking down, right? So market can be a bull market or a bear market. But what was the condition in 2007-6 in Dubai? Before 60 to 70% the project completion, the complete capital will come to the owners. The relevant example for me to share with you is Nakheel Properties, owned by Dubai Prime Minister, right? Maktoum, Highness. The project name is Jumeirah, Palm Jumeirah, right, Mr. Nitin? That's only one water project has given the complete success for the entire group. The Nakheel Properties, owned by the Prime Minister, Highness Maktoum Al Maktoum, he has invested huge in water. So the project name is Palm Jumeirah. Each and every celebrity across the worldwide, the iconic figures. So they have their own apartments in Palm Jumeirah. So the original capital which was invested in that particular project, they were never waiting until the project is completed. Before the project is going to complete, even the 60%, 70% stage, the complete capital has came back to the Nakheel Properties. And that made the Nakheel Property to invest in more water projects. But unfortunately, you know very well, 2007, the recession has started. So the original recession was started in America, in Lehman Bank in 2004. And you can see that came a rippling effect into Dubai market, because you can see 90% of the construction equipments are stationed in the Sheikh Zayed Road. So there was a joke, there was a funny joke. If you're going to have a tea in a tea shop in Dubai during 2007 and you're going to name that you are an engineer, you're looking for the job, immediately the company will pull you to the work. And you paid, they will be giving you the nice salary, good salary. The condition is right now good here. You're able to enjoy your honeymoon period in Qatar market. Right now, which market is glorious? Which market is giving you the lucrative? Which market is lucrative right now in the entire Middle East market?
Real estate.
Which country is having a lucrative business?
Saudi.
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi.
450,000 engineers are wanted there. It's one of the groundbreaking deliverable project which is going to come in 3 tier. Completely, it's a sustainable project which will be running for multiple years, 10 years, right? NEOM. So it's going to connect from one sea to the other sea. So project will be starting from the Red Sea. So nearly they need 500,000 engineers. The preliminary budget for this particular project is $600 billion. It's a preliminary budget. Maybe the budget will be overshooted. The project will be coming within it will be 3 tier, complete project or sustainable project. So many LEED certified people are wanted there. Many risk management certified people will be wanted there. PMP certified. If we have the QMS, quality management system lead auditor, and if you have the CCP, cost professional in the estimation part, there is a certification. So you can push your CV over there, right? So the companies are paying in huge. The person who's getting salary around 15 to 18,000 is right now is getting around 35 to 40,000 in Red Sea area, right? These people are spending nearly 7,000 Saudi Riyal for the PMP training there, 7,000 Qatar Riyal for their training there. So how much money they would have earned there? So there is a right opportunity, you know very well. For last 3 months in Dubai, in the Qatar market, the population was declined 11.9%. Last 3 months, the population completely declined for 11.9%. So the market is a completely bear market in Qatar right now. So I don't know how the Qatar will bounce back. Many people are jobless, and many people doesn't want to go to Saudi because they are used up to the culture of Qatar. They are not willing to move or relocate to Qatar, the Saudi. Okay. So what are the other factors? What are the other factors you need to consider apart from this? What are the other factors?
Government laws, policies.
Please note on the regulations. The regulations. The regulations. So whether you are liking that regulations, right, or not, you have to accommodate or you need to compile with that regulations. If you are not able to follow the NFPA or electrical code, you're able to get your approval for your plans, which you're going to submit to the municipality. If you are not able to properly align your plans for the civil defense, it's not aligned with the proper NFPA, National Fire Protecting Act, whether the Civil Defense Authority will approve your plans. Hello? If you're not following
no.
electrical code,
No.
whether your civil municipality will give that plan approval? No, right? Whether you're going to like that or not, you need to make sure that my project should comply itself with the compliance. So regulatory factors or regulatory affairs is one of the important factors. Now, some project is happening in the construction market in Qatar, in Middle East. What makes the management or the company to stop the workers by 10 o'clock in the morning, and they're asking to resume the work after 4 o'clock? Why? Why there is a time restrictions? The work
Heat stress.
weather conditions, right? Weather,
Yeah.
climatic conditions. You want to finish this particular project, you are giving a lot of justification to your client, the owners, they are not accepting, they need you to deliver on the timeline. But the government has given the regulations, they should not see any person working outside after 10 o'clock in the morning, and they have to resume after 4 o'clock. Right? So weather conditions. And if you're going to work in the Europe market and you're going to work in the American market or Canadian market during the peak winter season, you are not able to keep your your arm in the frozen climates. So what you going to do with your scheduled activities? The temperature is falling below 20. The temperature is coming minus 20, minus 22, minus 32. Completely the area is a snowfall. So what are you going to do with your scheduled activities? You are able to redeploy that one to other projects to other area, and you are able to reschedule your work for the future dates, because you are not able to keep your bare arm or bare foot in the frozen environment. You are able to feel the finger to its bones. So the climatic condition is one of the important enterprise environmental factors. Okay. Nitin?
Yeah.
Okay. Where you given your certificates? You got your entry in a company, like you said that you're working for 11 to 13 years in the Dubai market, right? In a company, right?
Yeah.
Where you given your certificate, your degree certificates?
Or attestation to Ministry of Foreign
No,
Affairs.
asking. Many companies will make you to surrender your certificate, right? Until you're going to work with that employer, you
Yeah.
have the original certificate, right?
Yeah.
Right. So please note on, this is called as a personal administration files. So who's going to manage all this personal administrations? Who's going to manage the personal administrations?
HR.
HR, human resource. The firing, the hiring, the training guidance, everything will be guided by the HR, and you'll be having your own personal administrations. The personal administration is one of the important enterprise environmental factors that you need to consider. Many companies will have a privilege to spend for the training and for their exam money. The company will be funding them for them to do the training. They will fund them for them to write the exams. But once that employer doesn't want to stay in the company will deduct that particular amount, right or not, guys? We spend for your training, we are funded for your exams, so we need to deduct from your settlements. So the personal administration is one of the important enterprise environmental factors. And one more important enterprise internal factor will be your infrastructure and your facilities. If you don't have the proper infrastructure and proper facility, can you able to do a project? A particular project is asking you to just provide the power supply, electricity supply to the mountain hill area. So you need to take the power supply from the ground level, and that will be going to the 50, you need to travel to the mountain 50 kilometers or 60 kilometers. But you don't have the proper infrastructure, you don't have the proper facility for you to give the power supply. So what is the use you are winning your tenders? What is the use that your proposal got selected? The contract is awarded. If you don't have the proper infrastructure, if you don't have the proper facility, I'm not able to do my projects. So that will be the enterprise environmental factors. And one more factor, is very important factor, is that, please note on a trade embargo. Trade embargo. So what do you mean by trade embargo? What do you mean by trade embargo? Hello?
No idea. No idea.
Okay, you will be having idea right now. 4 to 5 years back, what happened to Qatar, Ms. Kala? Saudi, 4 to 5 years back, what happened to Qatar? From
the blockade imposed.
Blockade.
Blockade, yeah.
Blockade, right?
Yeah.
The Qatar
Yeah.
went to blockade, right or not? Saudi was blocking Qatar. Bahrain was
Yes.
blocking Qatar. And UAE is blocking Qatar. The two countries within the GCC nationality, two countries are the mutual supporters, right? One from Kuwait and one from Oman, right? Whether you are able to get your commodities, your provision from Saudi, till
No.
that particular blockade period, you are able to get all the provisions from Qatar, Saudi, right or not? So where your provisions were coming, once it was blocked, where you are receiving your provisions.
Kuwait, Turkey.
Provisions and your commodities from Turkey and Australia, right or not?
Yeah.
Right? So if you have your contractor working in Saudi, you're able to bring that particular contractor to your project in Qatar, that period.
No.
So please note on the trade embargo. Once you are doing the procurement, whether you have a procurement relationship with the global vendors, you need to consider whether the government is having any restriction in bringing that particular supplier into a project. That will be called as a trade embargo. You can't buy any kind of provisions. You can't buy any kind of goods and service. You are not allowed to bring that kind of goods and service in this country, or you are not, that particular country will not make you to get the supply. Trade embargo. It's one of the important enterprise and environmental factors, right? And okay, Nitin, again, I need to come to you guys. Nitin?
Yeah, Bala.
Okay, for example, you are running a pharmaceutical company in Kerala, in Cochin or somewhere in Thrissur, you are running this. You got a very big pharmaceuticals. You are in the distribution line. You are distributing your medicines and other pharmaceutical healthcare items to various hospitals. You have a very good contact list. You are doing this kind of business, medical supply business. You are placing an order directly from manufacturing unit, like from Gujarat, or you're getting from Bombay or something. So 3-4 lorry container is coming in a very big semi truck. So you can use your own workers to unload it. Will the union workers in Kerala will allow your workers to unload that? You have your own people to unload. Will the union workers in Kerala will allow that your own workers to unload all the medical supplies?
No, they will not allow.
They
No.
will not allow, right? Please note on this is called as a collective bargaining agreement. Collective bargaining agreement is one of the important enterprise environmental factors. Collective bargaining agreement. You need to make sure that whether the company is having any kind of agreement with any kind of union workers. Even though I do have my workers, I can't take my workers from Qatar. I'm having a project in Saudi right now. I can't use my Qatar workers because the Saudi, they will be having their own workers. The Saudi union workers, if they have the union. Luckily, in Middle East, we don't have the union. In Europe market and Asian market, subcontinent, we will be having the union. So here, we don't have the unions. But assume that if we have the union and the Saudi, they have their own union and they will allow only their union workers to work in the projects. You can't use your own manpower supplies. So that is one of the great influencing factor. It will be giving you the failure and you have to make sure that how I'm able to overcome these factors. Is it clear, guys? So make sure that your 49 processes, at least a 44 process will be using the enterprise environmental factors. You need to make sure that what factors will influence each and every process, how you are able to overcome these factors. The second one is your organization process assets. Please note on this. Your organization process assets, OPA. We call this one as a OPA. The first one is your enterprise environmental factors. We've gone through the complete enterprise environmental factors. One is your external factors and internal factors. Right now, the other one is OPA, the organizational project assets. Okay. So the organizational process asset also will be divided into two. Please note that one will be the policies, the procedures, and your lessons learned. Your lessons learned files. This is the first. The second one under the OPA will be your corporate knowledge databases. Corporate knowledge databases. So now, unlike the enterprise environmental factors, which will be giving you 50% success and 50% failure, but the organizational processes will be giving you 100% success. You need to rely on your OPA. If you are a new project manager, the old project manager was not having a smooth relationship with the employer, he has left. The workers is so attached with the old project manager who has left the organization. Now, immediately, can you seek the attention and support from the workers there? They were so supportive. The old project manager is not having the smooth relationship, but he's a very good project manager. He has left the organization and you're going to take his place. Can you be able to get the support immediately from the team members? Guys, please answer me.
Difficult to get.
So what happened here? You need to understand the policies of the organization. I need to know about the safety policies. I need to know about the security policies. I need to know about the worker policies. I need to know about the procurement policies. I need to know about the risk policies. I need to know about the financial policies. Now, who's going to help me? No one is going to speak with me. I'm a new project manager. I'm not getting any kind of support. Where I'm going to take the support? Where I need to know about my policies? What is the procedures? What is the norms? Where I'm going to read this? Your organizational process asset will be maintaining all this one in a server. So you're going to maintain this one in a server, or you'll be maintaining this one as a file cabinet. Right? It will be like a paper binders. It will maintain in your file cabinet, or you can maintain as a soft copies in a server. The complete policies of the organization goes into the server. So I can read through the complete safety policies. I can read through the complete security policies. I can read through the complete risk policies. What is the percentage of risk we can allow? The risk policy will state not more than 10%, not more than 12%. Right? And your lessons learned databases, your lessons learned registers. So if you want to know, if you want to know about your success and failure criteria, which will be helping you. I want to know about the recommendation, what the recommendation has given by the previous project. I'm going to do the standard form of project right now. I need to know something. What is the success criteria? What is the failure criteria? How the people are able to overcome the challenges? What recommendation they left for us? So where I can take this? Or I need to just use the templates. I need to define the information into the templates. What I need to bring into the template, what I need to avoid. How I'm going to bring a template, a customized templates. How I'm going to prepare a risk report. I'm going to prepare a risk register. How I'm going to prepare my issue logs. So where are you going to take all this? where you are able to take this one, guys. Hello?
Yeah, Bala. Yeah.
Data
And you're going to take all this, which will be giving you the clear informations, your policies, your procedures, your worker policies, your procedures, your conditions, your risk policies, your procurement policies. I want to know about my contractor list. I want to know about my procurement list. I want to know about my pre-qualified supplier list. So where I'm going to take this, your organizational process asset will be giving you the complete information. A wheel as invented. Why you want to reinvent the wheel? You have got the complete information in your lessons learned registers. Your OPA is maintaining all this baggage of information from the previous project. Till date, everything is keep on updated. So you can take that one, you can use for the current project. Why you're going to start from the scratch? And your corporate knowledge databases. I need to know about the financial databases. I need to know about my issue databases. I need to know about my defect databases. I need to know about my solution databases. So where I'm going to take my databases? Your company will be having its own corporate knowledge databases. Right or wrong, guys? It is right or not. So each and every organization, make sure that you need to have your knowledge sharing plans. Whether you're going to take your work from the contractors or subcontractor, you need to make sure that the lessons learned register are properly documented. You should have a proper knowledge sharing plans. Someone is going to move with your organization, and that is the only one person is having the skills to discharge his duties. He's a subject matter expert. He has got a very good appointment from a competitor company. He's going to move within a week. If you don't just document what all the lessons you're going to learn from him, so how are you going to proceed with the current project without the subject matter experts? It will take much time for you to cross-train someone from your team. And you ought to spend, if you're going to bring any kind of consultancy from outside, your schedule will be having a hit, your budget will be having a hit. So what is the proper recommendation for the project manager? That you need to have a proper lessons learned register that should be up to date. So project to project. You have to leave the recommendation from your project that will be helping you for the future people. And you're going to take the recommendation from the previous project that will be helping you to perform your project well. What went well, what went well, and what is not going well for the people, previous people. You are able to know about your success criteria and failure criteria. You are able to know about your databases. So the complete organizational process asset is going to be a supportive one for the project managers. Almost all the 49 processes will be using the organizational process assets. The dress code, the logo wear of the organization is one of the organization process assets. If you're going to just take your food into the 7-star hotel or 5-star hotel, so how the dress code of your chef will be there in the hotel? What is the dress code they have? Hello?
Yeah, the white color. And
Why they want to wear the white color? Why they want to wear the white color cap? Why they want to wear the white color dress? Why they want to wear the white color apron? Because they want to show they are very pure, they are very clean, right? They are just reflecting their organizations. Each and every organization will be having your own logo wears, and you'll be having your own dress codes, right? Working in an adaptive environment, they will not have follow the dress codes. You can come in the free codes. But working in the construction industries, working in the heavyweight projects, you need to have your formal dress codes. Once you call for the meeting for the head office, you'll be going with the t-shirts?
no,
No, you'll be having your own formal wear, right? You'll be having your own dress codes, right? So the organizational process asset will be giving you what dress code you need to wear for this organization, what logo wear we are using. So all this will be coming into the OPA, right? Now, what is the significance between the policies, procedure, and lessons learned? Once you're going to compare that one with the corporate knowledge databases, what significant difference you can find in this two? We are breaking into two categories. One is giving the policies, procedure, and all the lessons learned register, which is we are able to get from the previous project. You are able to get as a up to date. You are keeping that one as up to date, and that will be helping you for you to start your new project. So how we are able to differentiate the first category with the second one, the corporate knowledge databases?
it will be like corporate knowledge database will be something very standard in nature, like a documented one.
Yeah,
at the very first
all the
place.
policies and procedures are documented one, right?
like lesson learned, it is at regular intervals. What I'm trying to say is like corporate knowledge data at the very first place, it will be, I mean, it will be like
No.
documented or placed in
So
that
yeah,
particular
what you
folder.
said is correct, but the straightforward answer will be, can you able to change your policies and procedure very often? You're able
No.
to update your policies and procedures occasionally, like 4 years once, 3 years once, 5 years once, you'll be updating your policies, right? But what happened
Yeah.
with the corporate knowledge databases for each and every projects? You're able to update that one, right? Right or wrong?
Mhm.
You'll be updating your corporate knowledge databases project to project, but you will not updating your policies and procedure for project to project, right? Or you'll be changing your
Yeah.
organization policies and procedure to project,
No.
right? So please be very cautious. Your organizational process asset is nothing but your SOP. What is your SOP? Standard operating procedures, right, Arman? Okay. Okay. So we have completed the chapter number 2, and we'll be moving to the chapter number 3, the basics. And once we are completing the basic chapter, we'll be going with the advanced level project management. We'll be starting with the integrations, right? So the chapter number 3 will be very small. The chapter number 3 will be a role of project manager, or your team member, team leader, or your agile coach, or you'll be called as what? Scrum master. So team leader, agile coach, or scrum master is for adaptive. Project manager is for the predictive projects, right?
Bala, this factors influencing on project management. We just seen EEF, this environmental factor, enterprise environmental.
Enterprise environmental factors, internal factors, or external factors.
Yeah, and organizational process asset. There
asset,
was
okay.
third one also, right? Organization
Which one?
structure. The third one also was there, right? Organizational structure.
No, we already seen the organization structure in the last class, right? That will be one of the factors. Organization structure, we went through various structure of organization, right or wrong, guys, sir?
That three, right? OBS, WBS, RBS.
Yes,
That's what you're.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So what is the role of the project manager here? What is the role of the project manager? What is the role of the project manager?
Leading projects.
Okay, it's leading the project, right? Leading project. So he has to lead
Manage-
the project.
The captain of the ship.
So you should have leadership skills in leading the project, and you should have a managerial skills, right? So he has to manage the project. So what he has to manage as a project manager, I'm able to manage by meeting the expectation of my stakeholders. I'm managing the expectation of the stakeholders. I need to manage the expectation of my team members. I need to manage various kind of objectives, and I need to manage various kind of constraints. So what constraints you have in your projects? What kind of constraints you have in your projects? What kind of constraints you have in your projects, guys?
Many things may be
Time
there.
might be the constraint.
The first constraint will be your scope, right? You need to manage your scope, right? So what do you mean by scope?
Subjective.
That is a two kind of scope. One is going to be a project scope. The other one is a product scope. Because you know very well, you're going to undertake your project to create your product, service, and result. If your project is going to focus or undercreate, you are able to create a product. So you need to just worry about your product scope, right? So how we are able to differentiate the scope, product scope and project scope? So project is having every capability to deliver a tangible and intangible elements. Tangible will be a product, and intangible will be your results or services. So how we are able to differentiate the project scope with the product scope? Both are same or different? Role of a project manager, I need to manage my constraints. So what will be the constraint? Many constraints are there. Many constraints are there. One of the important constraint, right, will be the scope. So I need to know about what is the scope. And to be very peculiar, I need to know about project scope and product scope. How I'm able to differentiate the project scope with the product scope? Now, my question to you, please answer. What is going to characterize a product? On what basis you're going to call that one as a product? You have your tabs, you have your cellular phones, you have your personal computers, or you have your desktop computers, or you will be having any kind of electrical gadgets. You will be having any kind of electronic devices. So we call that one as a product. On what basis we are calling that one as a product?
Based on future,
Huh?
futures,
Yes.
Features. It is
Please note,
features.
the features and functions will characterize a product. Right? A features and function will characterize a product. That will be a product scope. A features and functions. That will be a product scope. The work you need to perform to bring that specified features and function into the product will be your project scope. I repeat, the features and function will characterize a product. That will be your product scope. The work you need to perform to bring that specified features into the product line, the specified function into the product line, that will be a project scope. Nothing less, nothing more. So the scope will be one of the important constraints. Being a project manager, I need to manage that. Then I need to manage my time. So schedule is an important constraint I need to manage, right? Because you can lose anything and you can regain that what you lost. Health you lost because of your bad habits. You can quit your bad habits, you can regain your lost health by doing some exercise, by following some good things. You can regain your lost health. Money you lost in a bad way, so you can work very hard to earn that money you lost. If you're going to lose your time, can you be able to regain the lost time? The next moment you're going to
No.
lose. So you're not able to regain the lost time. That's the reason. The time is a very important constraint that will be considered as a circulatory system of your human body. The complete anatomy, you need to have a circulatory systems. It should be you should have a pumping stations. So the time management is considered as a pumping station for the anatomy. For the entire project management, the pumping station will be your time management, your schedule management. So time is a very important constraint. Then comes your cost. The cost will be a very important constraint, budget. The company is giving you a predefined budget. That's a constraint, right? A predefined budget is given to you. A critical component needs $36,000. They need $36,000, but the company is paying you only $28,000. You're able to do that one. You're able to complete the critical component. You're able to complete that deliverable within 28,000.
No.
Right? You're trying in another way, right? What you do, number of inspection can be reduced. So your budget will be saved. Number of audit can be reduced. Your budget will be saved. And you can deliver on time. But what about the quality? That will be also one of the important constraints, right? Because each and every organization will be having its own focus. They have their own primary objectives. Some organization will be a cost-tight organization. They will not allow you to just overrun your budget. They are too specific on the cost. Don't try to overrun the budget. Some organization makes you to just be very keen. You need to complete and you have to deliver the project on time. They will not give you extension of time. The delivery should be done on the promised date. So they are very time specific. Some organizations are very quality specific. You spend your lot of money, we can give, and you can give us a late delivery, but we will not compromise if anything is coming as a defective one. What standard we ask you to incorporate into my product, you need to bring that particular standard. Otherwise, we will not accept this. So they are very quality specific. Right? Predefined budgets will be one of the important constraints. And the time also will be one of the constraints. You want to deliver the project, but you want the workers to work 8 hours per day. But the company is not allowing them to work for 8 hours. They are asking the workers to work 7 hours per day. That includes the lunch hour for 1 hour. Lunch and other 2 breaks that will be added in that 7 hours. So you are not able to give the productivity. Or you want the workers to work in all the 6 days in a week, but the company is not allowing you to make the workers to work in the 6 days a week. They're asking you to use only 5 days in a week. So you have your constraint in your time. So the scope, time, cost, and quality is an important constraint. You have to manage that constraint. That's my role. Always a project manager should not work for the outputs. Don't ever try to work for the outputs. Always being a project manager, a responsible project manager, proactive project manager, I need to work for the outcomes. Completing the project and handing over the project is not a successful project manager. You are not able to complete your objectives. You need to make sure that all the stakeholder expectation is fulfilled. All your team members' expectation is fulfilled. Your management expectation is fulfilled. You are able to pay to your contractors on a timely basis. Their expectation is fulfilled. Right? So everything you're able to fulfill, then only you can say that you are a successful project manager. So always being a project manager, I need to work only for the outcomes, not for the outputs. Now, once it is coming to the quality, so how we are able to differentiate the word quality with the word called grade? Is quality and grade are the same? Because once you're working for the IT projects, once it is coming to the quality, there should be a proper and continuous integrations. All the pieces of work should be properly integrated into the product line. Then you are able to meet your quality, right or not, Ms. Kala?
Yes.
And they will be very much worried about escaped defects. This is a very important terminology used in the adaptive project, escaped defects. The escape defect should not shoot at numbers. You should have a less escaped defects. If you have more escape defect, it's reaching to the customer, then you need to face the consequences. So,
Bala,
sorry
to interrupt. So grade is also nothing but the quality.
I'm asking you, how you are able to differentiate the word with the grade with quality? Grade and quality are the same, because quality is a very important concept. That is the reason we have a dedicated topic on quality management. We have 3 processes supporting the quality management. We have planned quality management, we have managed quality, we need to control the quality. So how far you are able to differentiate the word grade with quality? If a product is having a high quality and low grade, that's a problematic, or the product is having a low quality and high grade, that's a problematic. Because once you are defining the quality management plan, even though you are not responsible to define the quality management plan, you have a quality managers and quality assurance. You have a quality managers to do this. But being a project manager, I need to oversee the complete objectives. So I need to know about what is the grade and what is the quality. What kind of standard I need to bring into my deliverables. It is not advisable the project manager should work with the workers. He has to direct and he has to lead his workers. So you need to show them a proper directions. So how you going to differentiate the word as a quality with the grade? Okay, I will just give you an example. I need to cut through 3 millimeters of wire. So I need to have a wire cutter to cut through 3 millimeters of wire, right? Nitin? Everyone?
Yeah, I'm with you, Bala. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Venkat also is there, right? Vijay Babu, everyone is there. Faisal, everyone is there. I need to cut through 3 millimeters of wire. So I don't have a wire cutter. So I need to just go down to buy this wire cutter from the hardware store. So the merchant has given me, the hardware merchant has given me 2 wire cutters. So one is made of steel alloy, the other one is made of aluminum. So I need to test that wire cutters. One is I taken the steel alloy, I am able to cut through 3 millimeters of wire. So that is meeting my quality requirements, right? My quality requirements is what? That particular wire cutter has to cut through 3 millimeters of wire. The steel alloy wire cutter was cutting through 3 millimeters of wire. Now I need to test with the aluminum. So I'm using the aluminum wire cutter. That also is cutting through 3 millimeters of wire. So that also is meeting my quality requirements. But what about the grade between these 2 wire cutters? What is the grade you can find in 2 wire cutters? My quality is completely fulfilled. My quality is completely fulfilled. What about the grade?
Aluminum will be of less inferiority as compared to the
technical characteristics in both the wire cutter is having a difference. That is the grade, right or wrong, sir? So once you are defining the quality management plan, be very cautious. Always low quality will be a problematic, not the low grade. Right? If the product is having the high grade and high quality, it's okay. If the product is having a low quality and a high grade, that is a problematic. Always low grade and high quality will not be a problematic. Right? 10 years before, 15 years before, we know very well what kind of cellular phone we are having. Nokia, right? 6600. 3300. We were using the Nokia cellular phones, right? It's having how many applications you can see in that cellular phone. What is the necessary for you to have the cellular phone? What is the necessary for you to have the cellular phone? The smartphone which you're going to carry right now, or outdated phone which you were having 10, 15 years back? What is the reason? The cellular phone is brought for you to do the communications, right, Mr. Vijay Babu?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Only for
If-
calls and message.
Yeah, only the calls and message. If you are able to get the proper information, so you are able to get the proper communication from your sender, it's very good. So that particular cellular phone is meeting the quality requirements. But what about the grade in the cellular phone? You got that the n number of features, what you can see here in the smartphone right now. You will be having hardly 4 to 5 applications, right? You'll be having a phone book. You'll be having your video gallery, the photo gallery, right? You'll be having your games to play, right or not? Am I right or not, guys? And you'll be having your message inbox. That's the application you have, 4 to 5 applications. Right now, how many applications you can bring into a cellular phone? How many applications you can bring into your cellular phone? Even your own application, you can just develop and you can bring into the cellular phone, right or not, Mr. Vijay Babu?
Correct, bro.
Right. So the latest cellular phone is having a high quality and high grade, but the old cellular phone is having a low grade and high quality. Right? Right? Okay. Then if you're going to manage your scope properly, if you're going to manage your time properly, if you're going to manage your cost properly, manage quality properly, you need to give the same importance for you to manage your resources. I'm not meaning about the human resources. I am just bringing the physical resources also. So you're not, as a project manager, you're not able to complete your objective using only the physical human resource. You need to make sure that how many facilities you need to have, how many equipments you need to have, whether it's a larger equipments or a smaller equipments, what kind of process equipments you need, how many computers you need to have, how many printers you need to have, what kind of papers you have to use, stakes of paper. So all the things will be physical resources. So you need to just make sure that you need to manage these resources. If you plan to utilize the resources, physical resources, and the utilization is more than the planned utilizations, that is not increasing your budget. Once you're going to plan your resource management and you're able to quantify your resources, especially once it is coming to the physical resources, you need to have the bobcats, you need to have the jackhammers, you need to have the tower cranes, you need to have the smaller cranes, you need to have the bulldozers, you need to have process equipments, you need to have the porta cabins. So the complete physical resource should be properly assessed. And you plan to utilize these resources, but the utilization is exceeding the actual utilizations. So whether you're able to control your costs on that, guys. Hello? Am I still audible with you guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bala.
Okay. So the resource also will be one of the important constraints of being a project manager. I need to manage. That's my role. If I'm not managing all this properly. So which one I'm going to invite? If I'm not able to manage all this properly, so which one I'm going to voluntarily invite into my projects? So that one is what? Your risk. So risk also will be important constraint that you have to manage properly. So all the 6 constraints is a very important. You do have other constraints like communications, procurements, many constraints you have, but according to the Project Management Institute, they are just making sure that being a project manager, the role given as a project manager, you need to manage all the 6 constraints. One is your scope, the other one is your schedule, the other one is your budget, the 4th one is your quality, the 5th one is your resources, and the last one will be your risk. Right? If the client is keep on adding the scope is exceeded, the scope is added, but the client is not permitting you to use extra time units. The client is not asking you to add the extra line item cost. So one constraint is pulling the other side, the other constraint has to give up. So if the other constraint is giving up, so you are able to manage the project properly. Are you able to manage these constraints properly as a project manager? Hello?
No, if its scope is continuously adding, it's difficult.
It's difficult, right? You need to add the extra time units, right? You need to add the extra time on your line item cost also, right? On the added scope.
Yes.
We're adding
Its
in
cost
only
will
one
be
area,
different.
making that one area to come down, and others are going up. So if one constraint is pulling in one direction, other constraint has to give up. So being a project manager, I need to manage all this constraint. If I'm not able to manage this constraint, what happened to me? What happened to me? You are not able to get stress. You will not able to get your stress. And where are you going to download all the stress? If you are going after your working hours, definitely you will be downloading all your stress into your family, right? You will start shouting your people. So make sure that being a project manager, or you will be start shouting your subordinates, your team members. So you need to make sure that you have to manage the constraint properly. And all this 6 constraint is called as, please note down, is called as competing constraint. We call this one as a competing constraint, or we'll be calling this one as a balancing constraint. You need to balance this one. So in order to just manage all this constraint, in order to relieve from the stress, the project managers should be innovative. Okay, they are not giving you the additional budget. What we have to do? We have to buy the product. That is so that will be costing us too much. Why can't we use the composite material? That will be compensating the existing material, and it is having a durability like the original material. So we can go with the composite materials. So being a project manager, in order to relieve your stress, in order to manage your constraint, you should be more innovative. That is one of the important skills you should have, right? Right. Okay. Now, the role of the project manager lies in 3 sides. We call this one as a triangle. Please note down. The Project Management Institute is saying that this is called as a PMI, a talent triangle. Talent triangle. So what is my role? My role, I need to have one side of my talent triangle shows that I need to have the complete mastery skill in understanding about my technical project management. My technical project management skills. The other side of the talent triangle is asking me to just have the leadership skills. The third side of talent triangle is asking me to have a business skills, business management skills. Because I need to understand the sponsor has appointed me, nominated me as the project manager to this project. I'm going to be a captain. I'm going to be a pilot. I'm going to take this particular project. I'm going to meet the complete objective. I'm going to fulfill my sponsor objective also. So I need to understand on what basis the project is selected and handed over to me. I need to have a business skills. I need to know about the finance. I'm not a financial person. I'm a project manager. I'm an engineer. I'm not doing anything with finance. But at least you need to make sure that how the project got selected, on what basis the project got selected. I need to have a business skills. I need to know the international conditions. If I'm going to drive in the left-hand side, I need to know about the traffic conditions, where the traffic signals is written, how I'm going to deal with this particular traffic regulations. I'm going to align with the traffic regulations. If I'm going to drive on the right-hand side also in a different country, I need to know about the traffic regulations. I should not violate my traffic rules. So I need to have the business skills in understanding the business. I need to know about the strategic objective, business objective of the organizations. So the project manager has to understand. So what do you mean by capital investments? What do you mean by long-term investments? What do you mean by capital budgeting methods? How the project got selected? What methods they have used to select? How the funds came into the project? Whether the sponsor is going to use the complete savings on this particular project. I should not delay this project. Or whether the sponsor has taken the loan from the bank and just spending on this project. When I need to complete the project. When I need to hand over the project. Or the project is having multiple sponsors. They are equally sharing their money and they're investing in this project. Or the project is a heavy project and the single bank is not able to provide the funds. So we are advising the bank to form a syndicate. From the complete 4 to 5 banks form a syndicate. They are providing us a huge funds. So I need to know all this. I need to understand the business. I need to have a business acumen skills. I need to know about the strategic objective of the organization, where I need to align my project objective towards the strategic objective of my organizations. Right? The technical project management, from the next class, the complete training session will be going on the technical project management. I need to know how to perform the integrations. I need to know to perform the quality management. I need to know about the critical path method. I need to know about the critical chain method. I need to know how to do resource leveling. resource loading, resource optimizations. So I need to have the technical project management skills. Leadership skills, I need to just always, I need to stand away from the comfort zones. Because the real appreciation for the project manager or a leader will not come from the management. Your people, your subordinate, your team has to wait that this particular person should take the role of the project manager. He has to lead us. So that is the real applause, the real appreciation you're going to get from your own team members. So you need to exhibit your leadership skills. You need to exhibit your managerial skills. So we will have a small look on the business management and the leadership skills, because our entire training session from the next class onwards is going to move on the technical project management sides. So everyone is ready? Can I move forward?
Yes, yes.
So they are giving you to contribute equally for all the three sides. So business management, leadership skills, technical project management skills will be forming a triangle. That triangle is called as a PMI, a talent triangle. So we'll go with the leadership skills. So how far are you going to differentiate the leader with the manager? Because according to the Project Management Institute, they are insisting you not to be a leader, you should be a manager. Not to be a manager, you should be a leader. Always you need to change your cap color depending upon the environment where you're going to operate your projects. So what is the difference between the manager and the leader? Who will run the project in an administrative way, or who will just do the innovations? Who will run the project in an administrative way, or who will be running the project in an innovative way? The manager will run the project in an administrative way or innovative way, or the leader will be running the project in an innovative and administrative way. Who's going to do the administration and who's going to do the innovations?
Manager
will
will be administrative.
Always the
manager.
manager has to follow the administrative process. He has to administrate his project. Leader has to always innovate in his project. You have to do a lot of innovations. Who's going to set the objectives and who makes the objective will be attained? Who's going to set the objective and who makes the people to attain that objectives? The manager will set the
Manager set objectives.
and the leader will take the mass group of people in completing that objectives, right? Right or not? Manager will see the bottom line, but the leader will just focus the horizon. The complete horizon will be focused, that will be the focus of the leader. The manager will only see the bottom line, right? Manager will do the things, manager will do the right things. The leader will do the things right. So that is the difference between manager and leader, right? So now once you're going to be a leader, the leadership style always should be changed based on the global environment. So right now, they're going to ask the questions. Be very cautious. People skills, 74 question. Don't try to miss the jackpot. We'll see the leadership skills. The first ever leadership skills is, please note down, laissez-faire. Laissez-faire. So this is the first leadership skills, the style of the leadership. So what do you mean by laissez-faire leadership? The word itself, it's coming as a European word. So it's a word you're going to take from the European. If you're going to do a business in Europe market, especially in France or any Italy, the government will not ask you to provide a documentation for you to clear your CR. The government will set free. Until you are doing the illegal things, the government will not do any kind of interference. They're going to set you free. They are making you to just move independently. They will not come and do any kind of micromanagement. So being a leader, what you have to do, you have to set your team free. You need to have the complete trustworthy on your team members. You have to trust your team. You have to earn the trustworthy from your team members. You have to show them a proper directions. You should not do any kind of micromanagement. You always should delegate the things to your team member team. So laissez-faire is something is you are setting your team free. You are not doing any kind of micromanagement. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear?
Yeah.
The second one, environment changes. You need to just change your cap color, hat color. You need to move from laissez-faire to something called transactional. So this is one of the leadership style. It's having other name called manage by exceptions, or The diplomatic people will be calling this one as a affiliative style. Affiliative. You are making a promise to your team members and you have to fulfill the promise. You are making the people to run towards an objective and you are giving them a promise. If the team is going to complete this objective, if the team is going to keep the cost under the control, time under the control, and we're going to complete the project in a successful manner, you will be rewarded and you will be having the certificate of recognitions, or you will take in the hierarchy level. Your position will be gone to the top management. So you are making the people to run towards the objective by keeping some exceptions. You are managing them by keeping them exceptions, right? So this is called as a transactional leadership style. You are motivating the people by giving them a reward, by giving them a cash prize, or you are giving some gifts, a token of love. So the people is running towards the objectives. So you need to fulfill that objective after the people is completing the objective for you, because the project is not going to be one-man show. The project can't be operated in vacuum. We never came here to do or win the matches. We need to collectively work as a team, and we need to have a teamwork that make us to win the entire championships. So the transactional leadership style will make you to just achieve the objectives. You are making the people to run towards the objective because you are just keeping some exception for them. So that is the transactional style. The third one is very common. Once you are coming from the predictive to the adaptive, you're going to take a position as a team leader, scrum master, or the agile coach. You need to just exhibit a leadership called servant leadership. Literally, you're going to convert yourself as a maid servant to your team members. The organization objective is a secondary nature for you. The primary objective is a team member objectives. You are raising the people to the upper level. You are preaching them. You are giving them a proper coach. You are coaching them. You are giving them a mentor. You are a mentor. You are giving them a good mentoring. Right? You are asking the people to just elevate themselves by having a good knowledge. You're making the people to achieve some certifications. You're providing them a proper training. You're helping them. You're helping them. So the servant leadership is one of the very common 4 to 5 questions you'll be asking on the servant. You're empowering the people. You're empowering the people. You're making the people to come with their own decisions. You're not making only the team leader to take a decision. You are making the individual team member to make a decisions. If you are giving this kind of privilege to the people to come with their own decisions, you know very well the people will be taking the ownership for the decision they're going to make. They feel value in staying in their team. So the servant leadership will be giving you all this kind of values. You can't use the servant leadership in all the circumstances. You have to change your leadership style. So you will be moving from the servant leadership to charismatic. The charismatic leadership is going to be what? You need to know about your personality attitude. You are so courteous. You have the complete business etiquette. 50% is your personality and 50% from your dress code, your personal attitude, your flamboyant look, your prettier look, your handsome look. Don't ever try to use this charismatic leadership style for swindling the other people, ruining the other people's life. Because history has taught a lot of lessons, like people like Mussolini's and Hitler's, they use their charismatic leadership style in ruining the people's life. They completely swindle their nations. So don't ever try to use the charismatic leadership style for the bad circumstance. Always you have to use for the good cause. Don't try to use for the evil cause. So the charismatic leadership. So once you are moving from the charismatic leadership style, the fifth one will be transformational leadership style. You're transforming your subordinate as a future leader by preaching them a good principles. You're asking him to follow the nice philosophies. You are just asking him to follow the nice ideologies. You're asking them to follow your footprints. You're converting that particular person as a future leader. You're transforming your people as a future leader. Now, the last one, the sixth one is interactional. The interactional is combo of charismatic, transformational, and transactional. It's a combination of transactional, transformational, charismatic will be bringing as an interactional. So these are the 6 important leadership style. According to the Project Management Institute, in this project management body of knowledge is clearly given. So what all the situation right now I narrated with you guys, They'll be giving you either of one situations and one scenario. You need to select an exact leadership style from the slots. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
Is it clear? Okay. Everyone is connected here, actively connected here. Just bear with me.
Yes.
We have few
Yeah.
more minutes to complete the classes. Please pay your attention. 15 minutes. Okay. Not only your leadership styles will deciding your leadership skills. Your leadership skills, which is given in the PMI talent triangle, will make you to take the power. The power also is one of the important factors. The project manager should have a power. So you should have a power. So the power is one of the capable things that will help you to know about your political landscapes. To understand your political landscapes. So you need to make sure that you need to understand the politics. Only the politician is not doing the politics. Even your organization, the people will do the politics. They will not allow you to incline up. Right or wrong? Somehow
Yes.
you need to just come out of the organization because you are not able to put yourself in the collateral damage. Everyone is doing the politics. You don't want to continue the organization, but the circumstance, the latest market condition is asking you to stay there. So you need to have something called the political awareness. Political awareness is a great influence in interpersonal skills, and that will be able to know about the political landscape of your organization. That will make you to understand which is a good politics, which is a bad politics, and which is going to be negative politics and positive politics. So it is making you to take a power in understanding how the people is doing the politics, what power the people is having, and what kind of power you can use in order to just manage these people. So power is a great deciding authority. Through your political awareness, you need to gain your power. So once it is coming to the power, so the power as a project manager, I'm going to have, there are different kind of powers I need to have based on the circumstance, based on the environment. The first ever power, I need to have something called positional power. All your positional power will be considered as a legitimate power, legitimate. Or the positional power, legitimate power can be called as an authoritarian power. You need to have an authoritative. You need to have an authoritative power. So where you will be getting your authoritative power? I'm a project manager. I want to broadcast myself as a project manager. How the organization will broadcast you as a project manager? How the world will be knowing that you're going to manage the project and you will be the project manager and everyone has to report under you. So you need to have a position, right? You need to have the legitimate for you to use your resources. You need to know about your spending capacities. You need to know whether you got your corporate credit cards, because you cannot stand in front of your procurement department for purchasing the commercial of the self items, for buying the stakes of papers, by buying a cooler, by buying a cartridge for my printer, or to buy a office automation items. I should not always stand in front of procurements. I need to have the spending capacity. So I'm a project manager. I'm having some limitations. Whether the corporate will be allowing me to use my corporate credit cards. So I need to know my positions. I need to know my authority. Whether I'm having a legitimate to spend for these resources. I can use these resources. So where you can, which document will be giving you these positions? Which document? You will be using various documents, right? Venkat, Mr. Venkat, you are there, sir.
Project charter.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes,
You
yes.
said project charter. Project charter is a formal document that will be giving the authoritative power to the project manager. The sponsor has given very clear authority. It's a formal power. It's a formal power. Formally, you're a project manager. You have certain authority to take a decisions. If the particular things is asking you to take an authority or a decision is shooting above your authority level, then you need to come to the sponsor, or you need to go to the steering committee, or you need to go to the senior executive committee people, right? So the project charter is a formal document that will be giving the authority to the project manager. We'll be seeing in the project charter once we are coming to the integrations. Okay. So what power I need to have? Being a project manager, I need to have something called informational power. Informational. And informational power is called as a knowledge power. Information is your knowledge. Some people will be having a lot of informations. They know various kind of informations. They can speak anything. They can skip internal things. They can speak about the share markets. They can speak about the cinema. They can speak about the politics, world politics, internal politics. So these people are so informative. So the project manager should have the information. He should know the complete information, because once you're going to handle the team, the budding juniors are smart enough. Because you know very well, once you're going to complete a project and moving to the other project, what technology you consider that one as the latest technology, that is outdated, obsolete. The current juniors, people are having a lot of knowledge on artificial intelligence and machine learning. So you need to be more informative to handle this kind of people. Because once they're going to ask you the question on the status of progressive meeting, you should not scratch your heads. You need to manage the team, the presentation skills, the meeting skills. The project manager should have the great informations. You should have a great knowledge, right? Some people will not share their information. They will not share the knowledge, because what the assumption they have, if I'm going to share my knowledge, I will be losing my positions. That people becomes a subject matter experts. So always you need to know very clearly, knowledge should be properly shared, right? Okay, then what power I need to have? Ms. Kala?
Yes, Bala.
Okay, you're working in a company, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There will be some person within the same organization. If you have any kind of grievance and you want to sort out and you want to get a proper solutions, you're going to refer a particular person, right? Go to that particular person, Mr. John. Go to Mr. David. Go to Mr. Venkat, Mr. Arun Joval. He's a very nice person. He'll be giving you wonderful solutions. So in our office, we have any grievance, we'll be taking a proper solution from that particular person. So make sure that the project manager should have something called a referent power, right? And the project manager should have something called expert power, expert. So you know to do welding, you know to do a different kind of welding, you know to do the typewriting, you have a training skills. You got multiple certifications, Prince2, project management certifications, and many certifications under the PMI family. So you got your expert power, expert. If even though you are failing in your project, but your expert power will safeguard your positions, right? Right, guys?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Then comes something called a situation. So you need to make sure that you ought to use the situation, and you need to take something called a situational power. During the highway travel, you can see one car is getting accident, and you can see one person will be taking a position and he'll be shouting at the crowd, go, 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 call the ambulance, call the police, see whether the passenger is bleeding or not. So what is doing there? What power is using? Where is getting his power? Is anyone is voluntarily giving him a position to take that power? He's using the situations. He's exhibiting his power based on the situation. He's nicely utilizing the situations. So the power comes from the situation. So he's using the situational power. Is it clear, guys? Right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
then something called reward. Reward power. Reward power, you know very well that you have to fulfill the promise. Right? You have to come away from the comfort zone. Even a small contribution is coming from the people, you need to have a privilege to congratulate them. You need to make the management to know the safety milestone is able to achieve because of this person. You need to just pin him in a bulletin board. You have to send a congratulation message. You need to email to all the departments, right? You need to give them a certificate of awards. Because once it is coming to awards, no one is compelling you to give a BMW car, a brand new car. It can come from no cost reward, or it can come from the low cost reward. No cost or low cost. So reward power is a very important power for a typical project manager, right? You need to reward your people, right? Then comes something called punitive. Please note on punitive. Punitive power. Punitive power, or we're going to call this as a corrosive power. Corrosive. CIVE. Corrosive. Why this all the things which is coming? Why I need to discuss this one? Because the PMI loves to play, keeping the what are the situation I'm going to write for each and every power. That situation scenario will be kept on the right hand side, left hand side. The exact power, the power will be kept in the wrong. The power wrongly kept. So they're going to use this one for drag and drop. So drag and drop, you know very well, you have to take your cursor and you have to pull that one and you have to keep in the proper scenario. So they're going to use this one. So understand the situation and select your power and bring that one into the right-hand side. Is it clear, guys? Right? The word punitive or coercive, please note it's called as a punishment power. You are punishing your people because the people is not able to follow your objectives. They are not able to fulfill your objectives. You are punishing your people. So punitive, okay. If you're going to keep on doing this one and you're going to keep everyone in a dark, we'll advise the accounts payable not to release your salary. Or if you keep on coming late, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, you are the only one person is coming late. Our biometrics information is giving that always you are late for 45 minutes. Today we have got an argument that one person came, always you come, always he will be coming earlier, and today is not able to come, and we are raising the question, and he is asking why you are not asking the question on them. So the next day, tomorrow, if you are coming late, we'll deduct your salary. So you are punishing your people, right? That will be a punitive power. So the circumstance is compelling you to use this kind of power, right? Then comes something called ingratiating power. Ingratiating. The ingratiating is nothing but flattery. Venkat?
Yes,
Good evening, sir. How are you?
fine, fine.
You are my role model, you know, sir. You are my demigod. Because of you, I am in this position. You have given me an opportunity. I will not forget you in my life. In spite of God, I will be worshipping you. Our generation will be overwhelmed. You've done a very good help for us. It's a great help in my life. So what I done to you, sir? I use the words that flatten you, right? Right or wrong, sir?
Yes, yes.
Right? So I'm going to use a flattery words to make a opponent flat. So whenever there's a circumstance, you need to use this kind of ingratiating power. You have to make the people flattery. And don't try to use the same dialogue. Ms. Kala?
Yes, Bala.
The same I said to Mr. Venkat, I'm going to share to you. And Mr. Venkat is going to overhear during the lunch break. Ms. Kala, you are my demigod, you are my God, you are my role model, you are my philosopher, guide, mentor. I'm going to use the same word. So how Mr. Venkat feel? It will backfire me, right?
Yep, exactly.
So I'll be losing my trust. So don't try to use the same kind of flattery words, person to person, right? So ingratiating. Then comes something called guilt-based. Guilt-based. So the guilt-based is something is a sales tactics. The tactics which is used in the sales industries, marketing industries. Because of you, we are not able to achieve the target. Because of you, we are not able to get the rewards. Because of you, we are not able to get the salary hike. Because of you, we are not able to get our positions up. So because of you, I'm going to just give my common finger point. Everyone is showing the common finger point. So one circumstance, you become a guilt. Because of me. So I'm making you as a guilty person, right? So sometimes you need to take this kind of power also, guilt-based power, which is used in the sales industries, right? Okay. Now, how the horse will move, friend, forward? You are a person to drive the chariot, and you are tied up with the horse, or you are tied up with the bullocks, the hogs. So how we are making that animal to move forward? By using your power, right? Right or wrong?
Yes.
Yes.
Chalo, go.
Yes.
Right? So what you're doing, you're using a power called persuasion. You are able to persuade the people. So you'll be using the persuasion power in making the people to move forward. Go forward. Go. Okay. People, they're going to call. They're calling commonly. You just say, I can do it. Go and attend the presentation. You can give the presentation skills. You are indirectly motivating the people to move forward. So sometimes you need to take this kind of power also, persuasion. You're persuading the people. Is it clear or not, guys? Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So these all the various kind of powers and these all the various kind of leadership styles you need to take into the considerations, right? So I'm going to close my session because the business skills, the business acumen skills, understanding the strategic objective of the organization, we have to do some mathematical things. We have to work out some formulas. So on what case the project is selected, we need to know about the present value, future value, internal rate of return, return on investments, and we have to do some capital budgeting method also. So I think that the time will stretch. So I'm going to complete my classes. So next class we'll just complete that one and we'll be moving to the integrations. Any questions to be asked? From next class onwards, you will be getting we have some separate topic on questions. 10 to 15 questions will be taken and that will be discussed. Any questions? So far, so clear, right?
Thanks, sir. It's clear, sir.
The
Yeah.
first three
Yes,
chapters-
So do we need to practice any questions related to these chapters?
Yeah,
So
we'll be discussing them. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's a combination of all the three domain areas.
Okay.
Like you can see the people domain area questions, you'll be seeing the process domain area question, business environment domain questions. We'll be discussing on that. And to be kind enough and to be very confident, these questions are not taken from the commercially available websites. From the commercial promoters, I'm not taken. This is taken directly from the PMI Security Board. So you'll be having a chance nearly 30 to 40% of the question, same question with the same order will be repeated. Don't try to expose to anyone, please. It's clear.
Okay.
And all
Okay.
the questions and answers will be given to you. Full length examination to test whether you can pass the examination and what is the previous month the exam questions, and that will be given to you, everyone. Is that clear?
Yes, Bala. So
Yes,
far,
yes.
whatever you covered, we have to go through the notes, whatever we have taken, right?
The first three chapters.
Yeah.
First three chapters
Got
you need to have in your fingertips.
Yeah.
Because we will be moving from the next class advanced level, and I was requesting you to have a glance on Agile Practice Standard.
Okay.
Last time, Mr. Vijay Babu or someone was asking, I was asking you to have a glance on Agile Practice Standard.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Bala.
So thank you guys. So I'm going to
Okay.
wrap up.
Thank you.
I'm going
Thank
to
you,
send
Bala.
you.
So
So,
Bala, will you
okay.
conduct any test?
Yeah, I said right now I will be conducting the test, right?
Okay.
Because it's only the first three chapters we covered so far, and that too we have some residual. So that residual
Okay.
portion will be completed and we'll be going on to the advanced level project management.
Okay,
First
noted.
level is the first three chapters are basic. The first three chapters are coming under the basic. That you need to understand the project and project management and how you are able to do the project. The second one is going to what are the influencing factors you have to consider. Enterprise environmental factors and your OPA. The third one is your role of project manager. Right?
Okay.
Thank you. Good night. See you
Thank
on
you. Thank you.
Wednesday.
Thank you.
7
Thank you,
o'clock.
Bala. Thank you
Next
all.
class will be
Thank you,
on.
Bala.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your patience.
Thank you.
And sorry if I'm just raised my voice decibel. The intention is that 7 o'clock, it's very tiring time for you guys. So I want to engage everyone actively. That's the reason I'm increasing my voice decibel. It's nothing, it's no any wrong intentions. So you'll be permitting me to use the same kind of decibels in the same volume in the upcoming classes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it. It's good actually.
Okay. So good night. So see you on Wednesday.
Good night.
Bye bye.
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 Thank you.
Good night.
Bye. Good night. Thank you.
Thank
all.
you. Good night. Bye.
Thank you.